Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
That's the next video game controller. There you go.
Oh, did you see that one that's made out of like bacteria?
Oh yeah, the what was it, yeast and culture and stuff or whatever. It looked
Yeah,
really
man,
weird.
it's a game controller grown from bacteria and yeast.
It was like, what kind of bacteria? Like, does this make me sick using it? Like,
No, I don't think they would design something that's going to give you the hantavirus.
That would be funny though.
No, it would not.
give you the T virus.
This is someone is playing Pandemic.
Grown using a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It has been integrated with sensors and electronic components during the natural growth process.
Dude, Marvel's has destroyed. Marvel's has destroyed me. I heard symbiotic, and I'm like, Venom. Like,
Venom.
you use your controller and you become a fucking superhero.
Yeast man.
That would suck.
There's like all these pictures of the controller, and then there's like 4 different ads for it looks like Canadian tops that you just spin.
Canadian
Like they're literal
tops.
metal tops. Yeah.
They don't know what else to try to sell you on when you're looking up the
There's
yeast controller.
like 3 or 4 ads for it.
What, do they have like maple leaves on top? Like, what do you mean?
No, I mean, they look pretty smooth. They look like chess piece design. They like polished chess pieces, but they're tops and they spin.
What makes them Canadian?
It says made in Canada.
Okay.
Like right there. There's built forever spin copyright made in Canada. That's the ad.
I like the sentence forever spin. Like you just let this rip and you can't stop it.
No, that's not the sentence. That's the name of the product. That's the company.
That's the name of the product or the company.
It's definitely one of those.
Isn't it if you spin it and the top don't stop, you're in an inception.
I don't remember what that movie was about. Dreaming?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Going into people's dreams and getting shot.
Turning them into nightmares. Speaking of nightmares, welcome to episode 31 of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. Podcast. The Giant Enemy Crab podcast, episode 31.
Diabetes.
It's just us today, so don't expect any real news.
We're tired.
Oh man, today was a hell of a day. I'm your host, Fliz. Kylar is not with us today. He's got a boo-boo in his
butthole.
Yeah, something like that. He isn't feeling good, so he's not going to be here. But I am joined by these 2 wonderful gentlemen, Tsun and Strider.
Greetings.
How was your guys' day?
I took a nap.
Oh, incredible. I wish I had your day.
Dude, I haven't slept good in like the past week. It was fantastic.
Yeah. You told us why. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks that it's affecting everything. Well, we're here now. You made it. I'm proud of you. You did it. How about you, Tsun?
Just kind of been hanging out, and I'm actually off today.
Oh, I'm the only one who had to go to work?
Hey, man. Yeah.
Incredible.
Dude, I don't know, man. I played some Outer Wilds today, and then Dynasty Warriors Origins. That was basically my day.
Nice. So I'll give you guys space for your news, but I was kind of curious on your thoughts. I don't like to talk about streamers that much, but we keep bringing up Thor and Pirate Software like every other episode, and he is catching so much shit right now.
Oh,
what's happening?
So, as far as I know, they all played. They're in like hardcore WoW is the big deal right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's in a guild with some of the top streamers like Soda Poppin' and stuff, or was in a guild, I guess. There was a raid, and everybody says everybody else is at fault, but there was a bad pull, and a bunch of people died, and I can't tell you whose fault it was. Professional players I've seen say that part of it is his fault, but they did say run and he ran. And so from his viewpoint on his stream, It's just him running away so far away from the rest of his team while everybody else is like trying to stay alive and dying. And not a good look. Not a good look. And the problem, it would appear, is that there's like kind of a history, it seems, of him having an ego. Like this is what sucks, because I'm not the biggest fan, but I catch his shorts and stuff all the time. And people are just blasting him and pulling up all these old clips of him. Like the big thing is he never admits fault, apparently. And that's really hard for people to digest when a streamer is built on a personality like that, you know, where they're knowledgeable and wholesome and just an all around good guy. And then you go back and look at all these clips and they're like, had nothing to do with me. Not my fault. Not my fault. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, from what you've told me, if the person who shouted run was the raid lead, like, you just follow whatever your raid lead says.
It was the tank. Yeah.
It was the raid leader. If he tells you run and you ran, you did what you were told to.
That's what he says.
It's very important to listen. From what I understand, it's very important to listen to whoever your raid lead is doing call outs.
Yeah.
Also, if you're playing hardcore where, like, realistically, you know, you're losing your character is a thing. One, that's why you're playing hardcore. It's always a risk. I don't know, man. And again, yeah, no, if you're listening to your goddamn raid leader, I don't know what we'll get mad about weird things.
From an outside perspective that I have, because I don't really care. I just, for some reason, because I used to stream, I'm stuck in all these algorithms that give me streamer drama, even though I don't really like streamers. I'm not into it. I never really watched streams. I just did it because it was fun, but we can get into it someday, but it's not something that I look at fondly, unless I'm doing it.
Unless I'm doing it. Fair enough.
But like just the video, just seeing how mad everybody is at him, and then the clip of him just like running away while his friends are dying, and then it'll cut to like him yelling at somebody saying, "No, you should have died because I have 300 enchanting and we need an enchanter, so it's worth more if I live and you die." And it's just, I feel bad for the guy to some degree, because it's not. Imagine losing your livelihood over video games. You know, like this is what he does, and they're calling him a nepo baby because his dad works at Blaze.
Wait, what? Wait, what is that?
Yeah, man.
What about that makes him a nepo baby?
Because his dad works at Blizzard.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Like, how does that apply in this context? Like, that has nothing to do with him running from a raid because his raid leader told him to.
That's what I'm saying. It's all of this is like, apparently it feels like all these people have had these underlying feelings of like this fucking guy and his ego, because he does have an ego. That much I've seen from the start. But
well, yeah, but
honestly, to become a successful streamer, you have to. That's how that works.
You need a personality that people can.
You need a personality. That's what when people, because I used to have people come in all the time and be like, how do I get started? How do I do this and that? I'd show them all the mechanics of what they needed to get set up. And then they'd be like, well, how should I act? Or I'd get messages from streamers I know being like, I don't know what to do now. And I'm like, and my answer was pretty much always the same. It was do what you want, have fun, and be you, but you plus 10%. You know, you can't just, to get people to stick around, it's got to be personal. And even you guys said to me like, hey, when you're not quite the same when you're not streaming. I'm like, of course not. I'm not trying to like talk to strangers and stuff. It's different. So, you know, personality is a huge part of that. And I remember the first time I saw him, I was like, I mean, this dude has all the knowledge. He's got the voice. He's got the setup. He's got the drop. Like this dude is like the perfect streamer. And apparently people don't like success. They found reasons to hate it. So
they were waiting for any reason why. It didn't matter. Like if this didn't happen, something else would have set it off down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's not even a real problem. I mean, when you compare this to like, y'all hear about Cookie LOL? Like,
oh my God. This is night and
like,
day. This is not even comparable, dude. Like,
to bring it back to what I was saying before we started the podcast, like real problems are real, you know, like this is, I just felt, I shouldn't even be talking about it, but it's just been bugging. I don't know. I was curious to see if you guys knew anything about it or how y'all felt, but I think honestly Lionel would know more since he kind of follows. And he's not here.
Yeah, I usually just encounter like shorts, like clips from him.
Yeah.
I've watched like a few best ofs, but it's mainly just like his chat being witty with text to speach and saying some really like off kilter shit.
Yeah, just goofy streamer stuff. I don't really follow him or WoW, so it was. But like I said, I still get all the shorts and TikToks, which is going away. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, you guys
more
are
TikTok,
right? That's just I think the States is losing it, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Who cares? Vine went away, nobody cared. TikTok's going away, only TikTokers care.
I actually knew a guy when Vine was going away that was like legitimately sad, and I was like, okay, it's such a weird thing to get upset about, but I guess it made him happy.
Funny.
So,
well, it's funny because you always see those Vine compilations, but that's like 0.00001% of what Vine was. A lot of it was not worth. Same with TikTok. Sorry, what were you saying, Jacob?
I've lost it.
That's fine. We'll find it again on the way. Did you guys have anything you want to get into? I have some stuff, but we'll move away from. Since I keep an eye on streamer news, I might say that bring some up every once in a while. I'm sad that I like because I called out that Dr. Disrespect thing, and then it turned out to be real, and he's still streaming. And
didn't he go to like some? Yeah, he went to like some heavier like right wing platform now, didn't he?
I think he's on YouTube.
Is he? Because I remember
I think he's back on YouTube.
I like saw an article, just glanced over it. That was like Dr. Respect now streaming on like heavy white right wing site.
I saw one thing that was funny. It was a clip of XQ. I want to say XQC watching Dr. Disrespect recently, and he was saying Dr. Disrespect was saying, "Oh, XQC sucks at this game. It's getting beat up by grandmasters and stuff. He ain't shit at Marvel Rivals and all this." And XQC just paused and he's like, "Yeah, I lose to grandmasters and eternities and Marvel Rivals. You lose to chat logs." I was like, "Oh, oh, get him." I mean, the fact that I hate Fame. I hate that Fame can let somebody like that come back and ugh.
It's crazy, man. All the, like, look at all the people that have gotten caught for shit and they're still doing shit.
Yeah. Yep. People just forget.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say it's weird. They either forget or they stop caring.
I think it's both. I mean, when we're with the rise of social media, right? Like, it's always what's next. Nothing lasts for very long. It is sometimes that 15 minutes of fame really is 15 minutes long. That's all my streamer news. I might keep an eye on some stuff since I can't get away from it apparently. But I'm gonna pass it to Jacob. What you got today?
First and foremost, a lot of rumors floating around that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be officially unveiled tomorrow on Thursday.
Dang.
Are you guys hype? Are you gonna get one? Do you? Okay.
Price point.
I know.
Depends on price point. I'll just say that.
That's true. Yeah. Is that a console you would get early, or is that something you'd want to wait a generation or two on, or do they release like Nintendo and it's like this is good and it works?
Usually, Nintendo doesn't do like an updated platform release.
Yeah.
They usually do like a cheaper, worse version of it, honestly, right? Because there was like the Nintendo Switch Lite, right?
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch Lite, which was more that didn't
right?
have no. The Lite is a thing. It's it's just a handheld version. There's like
there's no dock, right?
Yeah, there's no dock, no like display to TV version of it or functionality to it. It's just strictly like handheld play, which I honestly didn't really hate the idea of, but I never picked one up. I just had it on one anyways.
The main thing for the Switch 2 for me is going to be what is its starting lineup?
What are you looking for? What would make you say, "Oh, I got to get it tomorrow"? What would make you pre-order the Switch 2? A Tales game?
A modern Advanced
Tales
Wars.
would be multi-platform. It'd probably have to be something like a Nintendo first party. Like Metroid Prime 4 getting a release date on it would be very nice.
Yes. See, for me, I'd be like any like big Fire Emblem announcement. Advanced Wars are probably gonna be back into it. I don't know. Those are just a couple.
Wait, are there Are there more Advanced Wars games aside from the advanced ones?
There were 3DS ones.
4+1 technically, because there's 1, 2, Dual Strike, Days of Ruin, and then they re-released 1 and 2 together for the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh. I only played the first 2 on my phone.
What's funny is that too is as they went on, they got less like they became more serious. There we go. That's the better way to phrase it. Less goofy. Like Days of Ruin was everything's dark and sad.
Yeah, Days of Ruin by far was the most depressing, but even Dual Strike still had the humorous aspect.
It still had it, yeah.
Those are good games. I would recommend.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if they made like if they were like, here's another like mainline Advanced Wars, I'd be like on that immediately.
Because Advanced Wars was a continuation of Super Famicom Wars or something like that.
That makes sense, yeah.
I think that was like before Advanced Wars, like back on the NES or Super Nintendo. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a pretty good announcement for Switch 2. First party games. I know Xenoblade Chronicles X is getting a definitive edition. I don't know if like games are gonna have like Switch 2 upgrades. Like maybe that'll be available tomorrow. Because I would love to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is releasing on the March 20th. It's definitive edition. I would love to play that in the best possible quality because that's one of my all-time favorite games.
I'm looking forward to the idea of going back to it.
So I really, this is not something I follow. Like, what is there anything new about the Switch 2 that's like, have they released any info about it?
Just better specs,
is there anything
right?
that's
There's been a lot of leaks, but I haven't been paying too close attention to it. Like basically everything has been like we've seen Joy-Cons, we've seen the console, everything like has been leaked. But like it's officially, I think, being unveiled tomorrow is the current rumor on Thursday, the 16th.
Okay.
But
yeah,
like from what I remember the leaks, it's like portable console that's stronger than about as strong as the PS4 Pro, I think, was the rough estimation.
I'm seeing a third as powerful as the PS5.
Yeah.
But it's on the go, and I don't, I think we've talked about this before. Nobody's playing Nintendo Switch for like you're not playing for that mind-blowing ray tracing and stuff. You're playing because it's got Nintendo games.
Maybe it'll officially support 4K now.
Maybe. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Well, I mean the PS5 or the PS4 Pro could technically do 4K.
It?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it was usually like a 30 FPS 4K or 60 FPS letterboxed, I think.
That I don't know.
But I'm just looking over at my Switch. There's just dust there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is too. Mine's beat up. Just dropped it a couple times. The accident.
There hasn't really been too many new like first party or like Switch exclusives. It seems like a lot of things are being saved for the Switch 2 is my assumption. Because I wonder if what they'll announce tomorrow along with it. If they're, I'm assuming they'll have something to go with it. Otherwise, we're gonna end up with a similar situation of, was it PS4? PS5 has no games.
It
Or
was, I want to say
PS4?
the PS4, because I remember I had it and I was playing that like free shit that comes with it, like the space shooter that you go around in a circle. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like free on there. And The Last of Us, I played so much of The Last of Us that there's a multiplayer mode in there. Yeah. I was ranking up. Like there was nothing to play.
PS4 has no games.
Well, that's good. Is there like an event or like a Nintendo show or something, or is it just
It's just rumors right now, but
Oh.
there's like
Oh, okay.
I'm seeing a lot of them.
Okay. Well, then we'll have to pay attention and update.
And then speaking of another another update, Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed till March 20th.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is continuing to push that game back further and further.
It's not even because of it's not even because of like concerns over the quality of the game this time either. It's for a different reason.
What is it?
So it seems to be rumored that what is it, like the first family, the brothers that like own it. Apparently
The
rumor is
Arrow or something like that.
I'm gonna butcher this. Guillemot?
That sounds about right. I do not know how you pronounce it.
The Brothers
either.
G.
Yeah,
Brothers
but
G.
there's rumors that they're conspiring with Tencent to buy the company out.
Yeah. I saw something recently that Ubisoft, that's Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, that's Ubisoft.
They yeah, they're basically every week they're saying we're gonna change the whole company. And then next week we're still gonna change the whole company. Like
We're gonna do it.
they're floundering. Yeah, they're gonna, I mean, something's gonna happen. It can't stay. It's crazy. It's crazy to see a name like that, you know, that I've been seeing my entire gaming life just kind of, we're out of ideas. We're laying off employees. X Defiance in the trash.
It's
We
garbage.
might be selling to China. Who knows?
The thing, from what I heard with their talks with China, is that Tencent wants to buy them, but they want to make sure the brothers are removed from leadership, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
But they
Why
were.
did you want them there?
Because they put Ubisoft in this situation, in this
They're
position.
responsible, right, for like everything going downhill, pretty much.
They are the technical heads of the company.
Yeah, it's just good business acumen to be like, drop this dead ass weight, please.
but the brothers and Ubisoft are refusing, and so Tencent like they're in talks, was what I was saying.
Man. Oh, and they did Star Wars Outlaws too. What a
Yeah.
shit year for Ubisoft.
Ubisoft is exploding. They need Shadows to hit.
I don't know if it will, is the thing.
I mean, I would be very surprised if it didn't, since it's still an Assassin's Creed game, and those
Like,
do numbers.
obviously it'll see some success probably with just the sheer like IP attached to it, but I was just thinking about it, like it's such a weird, because I don't know, it's a weird pull of a game. There's some of the decisions they've gone with.
Well, it just doesn't like matter, right? Like, I think 2 was generally considered the best one, right?
I think Black Flag was also considered one of the better ones, right?
Also the pirate one,
Yeah.
yeah. But all the other ones have just been like hard 7 out of 10s. You know, like this is just a game.
I think Origins and Odyssey were received extremely well.
I mean, the thing is, I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is Ubisoft's second most profitable title of all time.
I do have like a soft spot for that, but I like Viking stuff. Well, I like Viking Samurai and Knight stuff. I like it. You know, I like that. I like those eras of things like that.
Like, Valhalla is the most recent one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. Mirage would be the most recent one, but that's not like main.
Is
Mine,
that
I
a
don't
full
think.
title?
I'm pretty sure that's a side one.
Okay.
I think. I don't think they consider it a main one. Oh no, the 13th major installment.
Oh my
I
god,
did-
there's like 20 plus Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, there's a bunch of spin-offs.
I thought there was like 5 plus a couple
Yeah,
spin-offs.
You got like
No.
Assassin's Creed, what is it, China and Assassin's Creed Russia and everything else. Like those are like side scroller ones. It's really weird.
That's crazy.
Where's my
'Cause
NFT
I've-
game? Ubisoft.
They already made it. I don't know what happened to it. I stopped paying attention.
Didn't it die?
I looked at it that one time.
I looked at it that one time is more than
I
most
did. We
people.
looked at it. Yeah. Champions Tactics, Grimoria Chronicles.
Were these auto-generated names? Like, what are they?
They could be. I don't know, man. I remember we looked at it and it was already getting stomped by one guy who was like climbing the leaderboards and fucking everybody else over.
The most powerful card, the credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I had no idea they had so many Assassin's Creed titles. That's crazy to me. Because for a long time, Assassin's Creed was 1 and 2 were great, and then they just kind of got, and this is just my outside perspective of it, but they just kind of stumbled and fell from there, re-releasing the same kind of game over and over again to less and less fanfare. And on top of that, they had the oh my god, what was they were one of the first adopters of like, we have multiple different packages and you can get a different skin from each one, but you can only get the skin of the pre-order that you bought, and creating this false exclusivity.
Like false scarcity.
Yeah. And people were mad at them about that. And that was, I think, that was sometime after Assassin's Creed 2. But that's when it all started for me.
Yeah, it was like what store you pre-ordered at, right? Like GameStop would have one, Best Buy would have a different one. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was like, I remember seeing the whole chart, and there was like 20 different versions you could get. And if you got one of them, you couldn't really get the other one. And for me, if you like, and I've had this problem since Pokemon Red and Blue. Like, if I buy a game, I want to be able to get everything in the game. Don't make me buy a whole ass other game to get the exclusivity shit is crazy to me. I hate it so much. And that game just kind of went off the rails with it. They got greedy. They got greedy, and look where you're at now. Unfortunate. Do you guys know there's an Assassin's Creed movie?
Yes.
Starring
it came out a long time ago, right?
Yep.
I heard nothing
I want
on
to
it.
say both yes and no. I feel like I should know, but I don't remember if I ever remember seeing
it's
that.
got Michael Fassbender, and
shit.
apparently it's boring as shit, which is not what you want a video game action movie to be.
Well, no, man. Look at Borderlands. That was...
No, don't look at Borderlands.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
I didn't even see it. And I don't want to.
Good.
But we watched Resident Evil 2. What was it called? Apocalypse or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Apocalypse.
The one with Jill in it. That's how I know it. And it was better than the Borderlands movie by miles. And that shit is trash.
We only have 4 more movies to go.
Yeah, we made it through 1 and 2, and so far I don't hate them as much as I remember hating them. But I think these last couple are the ones where I'm kind of like, ugh.
I remember the next one, Extinction, is my least favorite, but mostly because like it's super long and nothing happens from what I remember.
Is that the one in the desert?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
That one is like a big. I remember there were crows.
Right? Yeah, Extinction.
Yeah. Oh,
there
yeah,
was
the
crows in a bus.
But
that's really that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I like how both Resident Evil and I think it's 28 Days Later both have like crow scenes that are in my just in my memories. Like,
oh yeah, but that 28 Days Later one is like miles better.
Oh, dude, it is way more intense because you know what I'm talking about, right?
That's a real movie.
We're like, I really
movie.
hope I remember these series of events right. Isn't because it's the scene where like the crow had infected blood and like it drops and lands in the guy's eye, right? That's the one I'm remembering.
It was either that or it was eating something
and then
it dripped in his eye, and then he, that character you'd been with suddenly tries to turn and eat everybody. Yeah, it was a good scene. Yeah, that movie's great.
I think he yells to them first to like get away from him because he realizes what happened, and then he turns.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like more sad. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's heart wrenching. That's her dad, and now he's all fucking dead and shit because he looked at the sky. So you don't look at the sun. Always keep your eyes on the ground.
If you're going to aim a gun at it,
go for holes. No, don't do that.
Fight the sun.
Yeah. Extinction next.
Extinction.
What were we talking about? Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on Assassin's Creed? Or
that about sums it up.
Yeah, there wasn't
Okay.
much besides just that. Like,
It's like 3 weeks delay, right?
Yes,
2 or
but
3
well, the
weeks?
last one I
Okay.
remember being 3 weeks was Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I guess it comes down to how many times will it be delayed still. Like, do you think it's ever coming out?
Cyberpunk came out. Shouldn't have. Should have been delayed a bit longer.
You can only delay it so many times, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm looking at an article here and they make a good point. Like, would you want to release Assassin's Creed the same month as Monster Hunter?
There was that, yeah.
Yeah, nah. Don't try and fight that. They fight monsters. You ain't nothing, Assassin's Creed. All right, what else you got?
So there was a mod for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I think. I think it was the Global Offensive mod that was supposed to like redesign to basically inspire a more classic play from the original Counter-Strike. It was called Counter-Strike Classic Offensive.
Okay.
And it was worked on for 8 years, and they just got denied by Steam on releasing it.
Oh.
But here's the thing is they were talking with Steam originally, like they wanted to make sure they could release on their platform. So 8 years ago, they talked to Steam back in the Greenlight system program, and they were like basically working back and forth with Steam to make sure that they could get their thing released for like 2 to 3 years. And about 5 years ago, they just stopped getting contact apparently with Steam. Instead, they never checked to see if it was still okay or what, but they kept going for like 5 years, just working on it with basically radio silence with Steam. And then now that they've got it finished, that it has been denied release on Steam. And I believe the reason why is because the version of Global Offensive that they used to build the mod, I think it's Global Offensive, has a security exploit in it. And that, and so that's being denied, and that they need, like, they wanted Steam to give them the source code, and Steam wouldn't. Like, they didn't hear anything from what I understand. And they just worked on this for another 5 years without any contact with Steam.
That sucks. That's kind of like that Call of Duty. What was it? The Call of Duty
SM2 or something like that.
Yeah, where they
What is
just
that?
said, "Here you go." We talked about it. It was
Did we?
basically the same story. We're going to release an older version of COD that everybody will love,
Oh, right.
and we're not allowed anymore.
They said
Good
no.
thing we spent all these years working on it.
It's just crazy to me that, like, they were working, that, like, you would go, like, work back and forth with Steam for 3 years. And apparently they got, from what I understand, they got told about the security exploit and that they need to fix it like 5 years ago.
Oh, so this is their fault.
Yeah, then they just, like, they tried to get Steam to give them the source code so they could, use a newer version without the security exploit and build it from there. But they just never heard from them. And then they just worked on it for 5 years, which is insane to me. That when like radio silence, you don't try to figure out one way or the other.
I have a feeling that this isn't like, I mean, they probably weren't getting paid for this, right? This is like a labor of love.
Yeah, it's a mod. They were following the official Steam rules and everything to make sure.
Yeah, and it's not like it needs a new release date. You're just remaking an old game to some degree. Yeah, I don't know. If they knew about it and did nothing, I can't say I blame Steam too much. Based on the limited information that we have, that seems to be client side.
It's just how can you work on something for 5 years and just not have communication with Steam? Like,
just hoping, just working on a prayer.
The last thing they told you was you can't release your game with this problem in it. Like, yeah. It's insane to me. Like, I cannot imagine even going like 3 months without figuring out one way or the other, let alone 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it like reminds me of a bunch of, YouTube channels where people just put videos out for years and years and years. Like actively trying stuff, not just for fun, but having like a goal, and it just never goes anywhere. And it's not even that, like, it's like, I really hope you like what you're doing, because
You just made me think of the one YouTube channel that is just some guy drinking water every day. He just uploads himself drinking water just every day. And as far as I'm aware, he's still going.
Yeah, and I bet he has thousands of followers.
Or something like that.
He's
that Chugs
successful.
It might be him. There's probably multiple people doing it.
Yeah. It makes me think of that. There was one who was like a guy who would review cigarettes or something. He'd just smoke a cigar every day for his channel. And then he got lung cancer and died.
No.
So I guess
Damn.
mission accomplished, I guess. I don't know.
Lifetime achievement.
Yeah. Hope I'm remembering that right. I think that's what happened.
That sounds very vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I think that happened. I don't even think it was cigars. I think it was just cigarettes. Like an old 40-year-old dude, not old 40, but started
A young 40.
like young, just a spry a spry 40-year-old chain smoker making content for the masses.
The masses.
The masses in his lungs. Okay, what's next?
Damn.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's like you had to have known, like the warnings. You go to the store. I was I was picking up some sunflower seeds today, and like buy the cigarettes. It literally says these will give you cancer and kill you. $12.
I can't stop me because I can't read.
Yeah, not about you can't control me. I'm an American.
Guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
I put it to the man. You sure showed him.
I got him. Put that on my tombstone. Got him.
Got it.
Okay. What else you got?
All right, let's move over to speed running for a little bit. GDQ,
Ooh.
AGDQ concluded,
Yo,
and it raised over $2.5 million this time, bringing its
was there any
lifetime.
drama?
There's probably drama. I wasn't paying too terribly close attention.
Damn it.
Well, we'll get there. It'll come out in the cringe compilations. What I did see was that thing you showed me. That was pretty cool. The crazy taxi with a live band that had to restart every time it changed. That was pretty dope.
That was a thing.
That was very cool.
Yeah, they sped run crazy taxi, and like because the game would start and go for he'd drive and drop people off in 40 seconds of the song, and then the song would end, and then the level would start next, and they'd have to restart because I get and towards the end they were looking kind of tired.
I'm not surprised.
I love
It was good, though.
I love the one point where it's like, shout if you know how to parallel park, and it's just fucking dead silence, and then like no one. There was
Hell
even in the
no.
video footage, there's a slow pan over the crowd.
I would have been the sole loser shouting, "I can do it!" because I'm proud of myself every time I do it. That shit is hard. I can do it though.
I could do it. It's just it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Exactly.
$2 million though, right?
$2.5 million, and which brings their lifetime total to $54 million raised for charity.
Hell
Pretty
yeah.
spicy.
I want to be part of this. I want to be a GDQ.
You want to be a speedrun man?
No, that's like a hell of a path to choose, right? Like we love video games, but you have to love video game. Like you have to just want to play that one thing over and over and over again, and not even a new thing, just an old ass thing, and like the amount of times hours of your life would just be wasted. And I don't mean like that's a waste of time. I mean like I'm doing
The failed runs.
my Soulsborne run and I died, I got hit by an arrow fucking 3 games in. Time to start over. There goes 8 hours. That's crazy.
The fucking God Run, which I think is Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring.
Sekiro.
I think. I don't think Sekiro's in there.
Really?
It could be.
And you just do all those without getting hit?
Yep. I think at least 2 people have done the God Run of beating all the games one after the other without getting hit.
How long does that take?
6 hours, 6.5 hours, I think, something like that.
What do you do if you have to go to the bathroom? Diapers?
Well, you just go when you know you're safe.
Diapers if you want to be a bitch.
You can't pause it?
Well, I mean,
Like bathroom breaks aren't allowed?
yeah.
Who knows? I'm not doing
Let me
it.
come back to this in a second. Like, because I'm assuming you just like, because I mean, it's not a speed run technique.
That's the idea. We gotta do some research. Do AGDQ man go bathroom?
No,
No?
I want to come back to this in a second for a different thing. There's but I think you would just like go whenever, because it's not a speed run. It's just beating the game without getting hit is the important part. Beating the games without getting hit.
I mean, eventually it's a speed run, right? If people keep doing it, and it's time based. I just think of like, I don't even know if it's a real product, but I remember seeing something years ago that was like a tube for like long drives that would like fit into your clothes. And you could piss in and would let you keep driving. I don't know where that's from, but it's definitely burned into my
How
brain.
did you get that?
I don't know, man. I search up a lot of weird stuff. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to press enter on that
Our
because that's going
pissing
to look
device.
yeah, it's going to look real suspicious if I die and they look at my search history, even though I meant it completely in the, just out of curiosity.
Your Honor, I did it for curiosity's sake.
How many times have we been like talking about something and then I'm like, let me type in a dead baby. Oh, no, never mind. Let me just, I guess I don't think I need to know that information anymore because that's going to look terrible.
The what I always love is when I forget what you were looking for. You clicked on your search bar and it just immediately popped up with Shark Attack.
Shark Attack. Oh yes, YouTube, because I was watching Shark Attacks one
just
day.
Shark Attack. Like it was the fact it was singular that got me.
I was gonna say when you like you guys are talking about Lovecraft, the name of his cat, and you were about to search it up, and you're like,
yeah.
oh wait, no.
Oh yeah, I was on stream for that one.
Because you remembered, you're like, no.
We were watching that clip recently, and I didn't realize that the URL page comes up. The page comes up so
Yeah.
you can see it. I didn't know that. I
That's
always
fair.
thought you got it out fast enough.
Nah, I'm never fast enough. That's why streams get deleted.
Without that clip.
Not that clip.
I just
Yeah,
love
and
the,
Shark
oh, wait a
Attack's-
minute.
The Shark Attack thing is because I think I was trying to see a real shark attack, like not a reenactment, not like a guy got grazed by a shark. I was like, I don't think I've ever actually seen like a dude just get chowed down on by a shark. And I was thinking like, and I was just thinking like, if people got underwater GoPros and stuff, I bet there's some really good footage out there of somebody having a real bad time.
Going to Live League?
There's
or-
not. I don't know. I just put it into Google or YouTube or something. I don't know. I didn't
think-
find anything though. So
I think that would go against YouTube's TOS.
who knows? Not me. Maybe that's why I didn't see anything. I mean, here's when I grew up, everybody went to the video store looking for Faces of Death. Do you know what that is?
That rings a bell.
It's familiar. Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever actually
This
seen
is
it.
some old. This is like when we were kids. Hey, you guys! My older brother saw this in the covered room at the Hollywood Video that we can't go in, but there's a movie where people die and you see it all, and it was called Faces of Death. It was like the legendary, the one video to rule them all. And years later, I never saw it, but like that was the kind of shit kids were like tripping on. That's the kind of shit I grew up with. And then I did actually end up seeing it later. It turns out a bunch of it's all just fake. It's all garbage.
It had to be. I mean,
Yeah.
no way it would make it on. I don't think otherwise.
I think there was one clip of a guy dying in like a stunt accident for a movie, and that's why it was being filmed. But even that was like very grainy, very old footage. So anyway, enough about my search history. I'm just a curious feller. What's next? Oh, you wanted to come back to GDQ, right?
Yep. So the running or the speed running thing. you were talking about going to the bathroom. I think it's Breath of the Wild 100%. You're allowed to sleep twice. After that, anytime you're sleeping gets added to the timer. Like there's a certain amount of time you're allowed to sleep.
Wow.
Like there's restrictions on it.
Like you are like it's literally like if you're allowed to sleep a certain amount of time, like a certain amount of times, it's once or twice, like 8 hours was like the rule. Like, and then you have to continue like right on the dot, basically the next day, I think was the rule from one like highlight of a run I was watching. But like it's just if you take too long, like just your timer gets inflated because you had to sleep, and all that time gets added to the speed run.
I just can't. I have a job.
Just in speedrunner pisses themselves during AGT.
Oh god, what is it? Digimon World 3? That's a game you should speedrun. Flows 100%. The speedrun takes like 2 weeks.
No.
Those games are insane.
Or 100% because of something. I forget what exactly it is, but it's like one of the longest speedruns ever.
Yeah, no, I'm not really into these hobbies like where you gotta like piss all over yourself or put tape on your nipples or like anything where I'm gonna get hurt doing it. Especially video games. I'm good. Like
the tape, isn't that a marathon thing?
yeah, man, marathon runners, they have to put tape on their nipples or else they get bloody t-shirts, and also they have to wear diapers and stuff. Like nothing. I'm good.
Oh man, just get
more
like
power to them. I don't have that kind of patience and dedication. I just don't.
Just do it hedgehog style. Get like a pant window and then just do it while you're running.
Oh yeah, scientifically accurate Sonic is just shitting all over the road.
But the last little bit of speedrunning news is that a new world record was set for the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES.
Whoa, what'd they do this time?
They improved it. Like I don't know.
Oh,
It is now the world record is supposedly 0.3 seconds from what we consider a perfect run right now.
how do you even like he like missed one little jump part or something, and like dang, I could have shaved off 0.3 seconds.
It's 18 frames from perfect. Because so as far as we're aware, the quote unquote perfect run is the fastest time that a person has been able to set with a taskbot or task assistance, a tool assistant speedrun. I would
assume that's where you basically just put the inputs in and it just
like frame
does
by frame.
automatically.
Yeah, frame by frame.
Okay.
It's just trying to get the most perfect run. This run was frame by frame tied with it up until the final stage. Like up till the final level, he is exactly perfect. And then there's a like very hard tricks that basically you can cause your character to the character to accelerate faster than normal. That is very difficult to do, and you can do it multiple times in that stage. And I believe that's where the time save is right now. That's the only time.
Gotcha.
Because the interesting thing about the original Super Mario Bros. Is that there's like certain time frames. Time saves don't matter in that the game only checks to see if you've beaten a stage every 21 frames or so, which is known as the 21 frame rule. So basically, if you hit it on frame 2 or frame 20, it's still the same amount of time because of the end of the stage works. The only difference is that the final stage 8-4 ends as soon as you hit the exit. That's why these 18 frames matter here. Because it's the only point it gives you any time save here, because otherwise compared to the tool assisted speedrun, he had the exact same time at the end of each stage because of the sprint rule. But it is, as far as we're aware, like because of how like well documented and how much people have explored with Super Mario Bros., we're not even sure there's like any big time saves left. So we've
solved it.
Like it's almost a solved video game basically for the speedrun, from what I understand.
Dang.
So there is only about 18 frames to be saved, and then it will be a truly perfected game.
Get to it soon.
No,
Get to it.
I gotta play Marvel, dude.
Oh yeah, we're all addicted there.
Marvel
Like,
too
the thing
important.
is, the guy who sets it holds like almost top scores in like all of the other run types too.
Mhm.
But when he got this score, there's a counter of how many run attempts it's been, and it's like 17,000.
Oh,
And that's only, I think,
Huh.
since he came back to trying it. But yeah, no, and they're 5 minutes apiece, so there's an idea for how long that'll take.
this is crazy because we were just talking last episode about people being, I want my money's worth out of this game, and it needs to have time and content and all this. And this dude's like, I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you over my speed running high scores. I know there's 40 years of games to play, but I just want to do this one. I'm good with this. I don't want to go forward. This is it.
Return to Monkey.
Good for them. Hey, I wish I had something I cared about that much to do it every day for hours and hours and just fucking, that's it. That's cool. Good for them.
It just makes me think of, do you remember Dragsters?
No.
The NES game. And, oh God, what is his name? The one guy that got busted for fake speedrun records.
Billy Mitchell.
Not Billy Mitchell,
Billy-
the other guy with him. It's not, because he's very famous for saying that he got a certain score in Dragster. And then when we got to Tool, someone tested it using like Tool Assisted. It's literally an impossible time, even with very perfect
Oh
input.
yeah, it would take him like 8 years or something to get that score, some crazy amount of time that's not possible.
It's like, it's impossible. Like, the game just cannot be finished that fast. Like, because it's like less than 10-second runs. The actual like perfect time is higher than what he said. Tom something, I think, or something like that. Because it's not Billy
I don't
Mitchell,
know.
but yeah, no.
It's
Because
that guy's fun. If you ever want some good YouTube content, look at Billy Mitchell getting just ran through.
just don't make a video on him, otherwise he'll sue you.
He will sue you. he sues everybody. I shouldn't even be saying his
Well,
name.
fuck, we're gonna get sued now. What was
Bring
that
it,
funny?
Billy. I'll meet you outside the Kmart at 9.
The Kmart at 9. Which one? The Kmart.
Pick a Kmart. I'll meet you there.
That's one.
It just evolves into violence. Don't worry about it. My imaginary fight with somebody who doesn't know I exist.
The imaginary. I ain't posted that video. I got my ass kicked.
All right, what else you got? We're getting long in the tooth here.
Yeah, that's about the end of my news. I was going to talk about Dynasty Warriors since I think both me and Tsun have been playing some.
Okay, do you have any news soon before we get into
I'll just throw one here. I'll just throw one that I found funny. It was Suicide Squad finally got its ending.
Oh, that's my favorite game. Right next to
'cause
Concord.
We've kept up with this goofy ass shit. So I guess I'll just say, spoiler warning for anybody that actually gives a shit about that game's story. But is it
All 4 people are very offended right now.
dude, fucking. So the long gist of it is clones. That's what they were fighting the entire time. Brainiac had an army of clones. They weren't actually evil Justice League members.
Wow.
Yeah.
That somehow makes a bad thing worse.
Yeah. No, people are pissed. Like, yeah, it's yeah, and thing is too, all this is presented in like 2 minutes of comic book pages. They're not even cutscenes.
Oh no, they did that shit
Yeah,
too.
and just the Suicide Squad isn't the ones who take out Brainiac either. Batman and Superman show up to finish him off.
What a fucking terrible
And then
story.
reveal that the Justice League members that the Suicide Squad have been killing were just clones. Everyone except Wonder Woman, who was killed by a Superman clone. And yeah. So Batman, who I guess had like a big plot point of a death. That was just a clone. Apparently, it was all part of his master plan.
I think the only way you could make that worse is if they suddenly went, "Oh no, I woke up and it was all a dream." Like that's how bad of writing that is.
Here's the thing. Apparently, too, and after that, the Suicide members remove their bomb implants and then leave the planet to explore outer space, while the Justice League members go to different universes that Brainiac ruined to set things right and apparently atone. What they're atoning for, I don't fucking know.
They're clone
for being in this fucking garbage video game. That's what they're atoning for.
I just like
I
reading this is like, what the fuck?
I still can't get over that it was a AAA game where the price got dropped down to $4 and everybody still said no thank you. Like that is mind, like your shit has to be so much nothing, you know, to like basically be free, and people still say nah, I'm good. I mean, I know you have all those characters I like. I know it's, you know, all the thing. Nah, I see what you did. No. What a sad story.
It's crazy, dude. Like when I read it, I was like, I gotta bring this up because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And, that game, it's just, is that WB game? Yeah, it's WB.
Yeah, it's I think Rocksteady they had develop it. Which I saw something else where apparently Rocksteady got layoffs.
Oh, swing and a miss, WB. All right. Well, tell me about Dynasty Warriors. Is there a new one?
Origins.
Yep. Dynasty Warriors.
Is that what it's called? Dynasty Warrior Origins.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's probably
cool.
the best mainline game. Like the best like non-third party.
It's
Dynasty
not
Warriors.
even not even like since one. It's just the best.
It is the best. Well,
it is
the one was a
pretty
fighting
solid.
game. I'm not sure how one was received. I'm not very familiar with it because it was the fighting game of the Dynasty Warriors.
Let me put it this way: Dynasty Warriors Origins right now is overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
It actually has a quality PC port for what I understand. I'm playing it on PlayStation.
I feel like you don't see overwhelmingly positive a lot for Dynasty Warriors. You'll see mostly or very, but like overwhelmingly positive has been rare.
You were lucky to get above mixed recently. Like they have had fumble after fumble with the main games.
I think I remember who did I used to watch? Jim Sterling. I know they transition there. They go by something else. I can't remember.
Oh, I had no idea.
But
I recognize that name, but I did not know that happened.
I used to watch a ton of him at the time when Steam Greenlight was a big thing. And it was just trash review after trash review. And I remember they reviewed one of the Dynasty Warriors, one of the newer ones, and they had put a bunch of stuff, the Dynasty Warriors game, and put a bunch of content that was originally in the games behind paywalls and extra DLC purchases and stuff that like, this is a main character from the last game or nunchucks or something. Now you got to pay $3 for it in a game that was already full price. And I think that was a problem and rightfully so, a problem for a lot of people. And then as far as I know, the series has kind of just been middling up until now, which I'm glad to hear this is good. Does this play like the original Fight a Million guys and do all kinds of cool stuff and like have like it was kind of like a role-playing game, right?
So
not like a tabletop almost, except you got to fight the pieces.
So what Dynasty Warriors have you played? Have you played any?
Yeah, I played the ones where you like pick a thing and then you go on like an expedition and you pick your characters and then you pick a map and you do a big fight there for like the whole stage and then you pick the next one and then there's some story with like crazy bad voice acting and then
okay, so I'm trying to figure out which Dynasty Warriors you played. Because the series has kind of gone over like a few evolutions, like a little bit
has
different.
It changed?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, like, because I think 4 is where they really start the like 1 versus 1,000 thing. Like before that, like 2.
I was gonna say
1 was a fighting game.
I think it was
Okay.
Yeah, it had to be PS2.
Okay.
I think PS2.
PS2, so it's probably 4 or 5.
Yeah,
But
one of them.
so fuck. Okay, yeah, no, because if you played a primary game, it continues the 1 versus 1,000 with probably the most grand battles yet.
Oh yeah.
In terms of presentation, like this is the first time Dynasty Warriors has truly felt like it is a next gen game. Like, so one of the new mechanics is what are known as large forces, where you just literally dive in. It's a giant mob of like 1,000+ enemies plus the officers, and you just have to kill as many of them as you can, like focusing the officers.
And you also on your side have like 1,000 and officers.
But yeah, no, there's like thousands of characters on screen at the same time now during these large fights.
That's cool. See, that's the kind of stuff we should be using. Said you're you're playing that on your PS5?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where that shit should go.
I'm playing on
Like that.
PC.
Like what's that other game we played with the bugs?
EDF.
EDF. Yeah, that's where all that shit should go. That's cool. I'm glad it's good.
It's like, so the big thing with it versus the previous games is that there isn't a bunch of characters to choose. It's one character that you're following. You're following basically an OC character.
Yeah.
Like, you don't create them. They have like a set purpose. But basically you're trying to improve him throughout it. And then as the game continues, you will eventually have to side with one of the 3 kingdoms. I don't know if you're familiar with the 3 kingdoms period at all. If you remember anything from it.
I haven't made it that far yet, but I'm somewhat familiar.
Yeah, because you'll have to choose between Wu, Shu, and Wei. Like which faction you're going to join, which will each game's like second half will be different based on which faction you join.
I like that.
Because I just got to past the point where I chose. And but before that, it introduces you to all of the characters like that are important for this time period. Just as you meet the characters, go through like the major events that have happened. And there's some pretty great set pieces. How far are you, Tsun?
Trying to think. So I've just been kind of playing it and then like playing Marvel Rivals. So I've been kind of switching back and forth. I partway into chapter 2 at the moment.
Okay, so you finished chapter 1, right? You finished the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
Yeah. No, I did all that. And that was, I just say that I was not expecting like any kind of like big boss fights in that sense. And I was pleasantly surprised with that.
Like the presentation is kind of insane for a Warriors game. Like,
yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a legitimate boss fight. This is pretty sweet.
Oh, it's our boy Lu Bu. I remember that guy.
It's the
oh my god. Miller played the demo and we got fucking surprised by that motherfucker.
He shows up at the end of the demo.
He's
and
not supposed to be there.
Yeah, he kills everyone in one hit. Like,
it sounds Lu Bu-y.
Yeah, no. Because literally every time he shows up in the game, he is basically a super boss. Like the stage where he shows up, Hulao Gate, like where like the Lu Bu fight, is that he is going to start charging your commander, and like half of your troops go, "We'll hold him off. You have to kill the enemy commander before he gets to ours." But you can try to kill him. He is beatable. It's just he will almost kill you in any hit that he lands.
Oh dang!
Like and of course he has his own theme music that just overrides whatever theme is playing whenever he shows up.
With him, I'd expect it to override like your YouTube playlist in the background too. It's like, nah, son, we're doing my shit today.
I just remember, like, yeah, because again, I watched Miller play the demo. That's part of what cemented my decision to buy it. I was like, this looks sweet, and because like it's all about being like characters show up when they're supposed to, like historically. And so when he shows up at the end of the demo, he just comes flying out of the sky with a horse. And lands in and starts beating the shit out of your forces, and we're like, he's not supposed to be here.
He's just one man. I don't care how strong he is. Just surround him and take him down. Like, when Tsun was watching me, I left to go get healing. Came back in 30 seconds. He had killed everyone. Like,
Dude, you fought him many times because he was whooping your ass for a bit.
yeah, no, he's just as strong in the actual game, even stronger in a later fight, because once he actually has his horse with him. But oh my
Fearless
god,
warrior.
like, oh. But yeah, no, he is a legitimately difficult fight. And so one of the big changes with Dynasty Warriors Origins is that each of your weapons are more in depth, because you don't have a bunch of characters. You just have the one, and you have 9 weapon types that you can choose from, each with their own gimmick. Like, one of them is that for every heavy attack, you will have a follow-up light or heavy follow-up that you can do based on whether you just evaded, blocked, or did a strong attack. Yeah, gauntlets.
Yeah, gauntlets have been some of my favorite to play with.
Sword is the basic moveset. Spear is like wide sweeping attacks. Gauntlet is...
Now, hold on. Does it have nunchucks? That was my favorite.
It does not have the nunchucks.
Oh, 0 out of 10. Throw it in the trash. That was the only... I love the nunchuck guy.
It has the Podao, which is charged heavies. It has the staff, which is, as long as you're holding heavies, you will continue to attack. And different one based on where you started in the combo.
It's got wheels.
You've got the wheels, which are a press heavy attack when they return, and you'll power up your next heavy. Lance is charged attacks, and if you take damage during it, you'll power up the retaliation attack. There is the Crescent Blade, which is, as you swing, you'll build up upgrade levels, which will power, like, you will strengthen your heavies in terms of there'll be more follow-ups with them. I'm sure I was
Gun. It's not, but
Their gun?
there is not a gun.
there have been in like previous games, but
Is there like
might be
one
Samurai
of those
Warriors.
ropes with a dagger on the end that you can kick around your foot? That'd be cool.
No.
I mean, Samurai Warriors has
No
had
nunchucks.
Kusarigama's. That's the sickle with the ball and chain. Yeah, they kind of does similar things. I think Samurai
Alright,
Warriors has also had guns, but that's because it was in the time period that would have them.
What are these games called? There's a special term for them.
Muso.
So
Muso. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
1 versus 1,000.
Yep, they even added a little effect for when you kill
oh my
1,000.
God, I love that effect. That flare, and it goes Army of One. Like,
It just goes one. It goes 1 versus 1,000, and it cuts through the 1,000. It just says Army of One, and then when you get every 1,000 kills after that in the stage, it says Warrior of the Three Kingdoms instead.
Oh, you gotta mod it so it says monster kill. Very, very historically accurate.
The announcer. Oh,
That's good.
The
So is this like a hard recommend for you guys?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's so because it's more in depth than what the other games. Like, there's perfect dodges, parries, and techniques for each weapon known as battle arts, which are just like special attacks that can have some different properties. You have your own personal guard now, which I think is back from one of the very old games, where you can attack, basically tell them to do different tactics, such as fire an arrow volley or just charge. Music has been fantastic. What have you thought of this soundtrack so far, Sid?
I've really been enjoying it like a lot. There was one point where I was like, oh, this is cool. It was like old fat, like it was like what you'd expect, but then it had like a bass effect in the background, like I don't know what the word I'm trying to think is. It was cool.
Like a backing track?
It was like they added like technological kind of sounds to it, like electronic music.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's different, but I actually really liked like the combination of like this era of music and then the techno parts are pretty cool.
Because another thing that's really nice about the music is that it's very dynamic based on morale. Like there's a version of each song, I think, for when you're losing, when you're even, and when you're winning. And then certain songs will have part 1 and part 2. They'll play at certain points. There's a lot to do, like between missions or side objectives, small skirmishes that you can take part in. Like
There's
it's
also
also very in
battles.
depth, like because from what I understand, the game doesn't go through the entire Three Kingdoms period. It stops at a certain important battle. So it doesn't cover the entire history of the Three Kingdoms, but like what is there is very in depth in terms as it goes over.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking like the only bad reviews I see are people who suck. like game is hard and I can't beat this guy. And everybody say, don't fight that guy. Go do something else. No, it's too hard.
Well, you are
Which is always, I love that. I love when the only bad reviews are, I know you can't win. But me and Coach, I want to play.
Yeah, no, from what I understand, there when you finish the game the first time, you unlock a new difficulty. The change is like more than just a stat improvement. Like it'll change up the gameplay, and each stage will have a unique challenge that you have to go back and do.
Oh, that's awesome. I love when games do that. I hate when they're like, oh, it's harder. That just means you take one hit and you die.
Yeah,
like, that's not fun. I want new attacks. I want new problems.
Because I've heard that when you beat the game, you can go back, and if you beat Lubu on the hardest difficulty, when you're not supposed to beat him during one of the stages, you will get the halberd as a weapon, and you will also be able to use him as a companion.
Nice. Oh, well, you'll have to let us know if that works.
That is what I have heard.
I think you can do it. You beat the demon of hatred, right?
Yep.
Even I said, fuck that. I'm done. I don't want, this isn't even fun.
I remember watching you try that.
I'm scared of fighting Lubu on a harder difficulty because when he gets past a certain point of HP, like when you do parries or there's like certain attacks you have to cancel with special moves, right? He'll just parry those and try to hit you back.
So it's like some Sekiro shit where I'm like, I got you. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like
he's
the only character, like he's the only character that has done that so far, where he just goes, nah, your parry doesn't work. And it's not every time either. It's just sometimes he'll counter your parry.
That like subversion of expectations in writing makes me want to play like that. And the other one that I always think of is the Space Marines game where you have the escort mission. And you guys told me like, yeah, you go to escort him, and he's like, nah, I'm escorting
The Dreadnought just solos everything in that.
That's great.
Yeah. That's cool shit. All right, well, shit. Hard recommend from everybody who's played it, even the ones online, except the ones who can't play it because they're not good enough.
The best part
apparently.
The best part is like Lubu is by far like the hardest thing. I have found one other character that has his power, but like when those characters show up, fighting them isn't what you're supposed to do. Right?
Yeah. It definitely. That's the only thing that people seem to be fussing about is a difficulty thing, which, just turn it down or go do something else. I don't know. Sometimes games are supposed to be hard. That's what makes them fun.
There's a whole genre and franchise of games that are built
the best
on
part
that.
is like it's not even hard. It's just anytime Ubu shows up, the game goes from like a 3 to 4 out of 10 to like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like he just makes everything way more difficult every time he shows up. Like even when you're supposed to beat him, the entire stage is structured around take everything else in the stage, beat everyone else, and then because as you complete objectives, enemies' courage will drop, which just allows you to do more damage to them. And like their stagger gauge is easier to fill is the equivalent, right? Mm-hmm. When Lubu's courage, because it drops like 3 or 4 times, when it finally drops to the point where you're supposed to fight him, he is still stronger than anything else in that stage, like by a wide margin. Which it goes from nearly impossible where he'll kill you to you can fuck up once or twice and he won't kill you.
Is this a game that I could just like play with a YouTube video on and still enjoy, or also play like fully invested and involved and still
You can
enjoy?
do it either way. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like there are some moments in stages where shit starts going wrong really fast and you have to fix it. Is the only thing.
Yeah, because I remember the one that I played, like it was almost like a tabletop map, and you just kind of picked where to go and where to send your troops and which fights you wanted to do, and you could like just have a movie on and just be kind of mindlessly murdering thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of
It's
people.
a little more in depth with like perfect dodges and parries, but there's been a few times where like because compared to more recent Dynasty Warriors games, the game's less linear. Like for the first few stages, it tells you basically what your strategy for the stage is. But like partway through chapter 1, they start going, just look at the battlefield and just respond as the situation develops.
You're like, yeah, just you're free to act as you please. We trust you. It's like, all right, cool.
There's like no hard objectives that you have to occur like do each stage. The objective is always it's just basically there's always a main win condition and main fail condition, and those are the only two things that matter in the end. And it's usually something like don't let your commander fall and kill the enemy commander. Although sometimes it's like take a certain number of bases or so forth. But it's very free form with each stage, like how you want to tackle it, which I enjoy because the last ones were always like, go to this base, capture it here. We're going to lock you in 30 seconds of dialogue. The gate's going to open. You can go one base further, fight these two guys, and so forth.
Wow.
Like,
I'll have to let me get this when it goes on sale. It sounds fun.
It is fantastic. Also, small detail that I really love is so once you deplete an enemy stagger bar, you have what is known as assault, right? Where it's basically a high damaging, like heavy attack that you can do. But if it will kill, there's multiple unique animations for each weapon, and some of them are very sick.
Yeah. There was a game that I used to play, and that was kind of the whole thing. You were like a cop and you had a dog. And the whole thing was like, I'm going to take your M16 from you. My dog's going to bite your nuts, and then I'm going to shoot you with your own M16. That was like, every kill was that. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, no, because I think my favorite one so far is one of the lances. When you deplete this in the stagger and it will kill, is you kick their weapon in the dirt, you swing behind them, and you basically choke them out with the lance, like behind your back, and then throw them over your shoulder into the ground.
Oh man, could have just stabbed him.
It could have, but
Didn't
like
have to be like that.
It's so over the top.
Dude, imagine if people were. You think? Okay, hold on. Do you think in like the Colosseum in Rome, right? Like, do you think there were people that were so good at fighting they would just style on their opponents? You know, like they wouldn't just kill them.
I feel like
they would like.
I feel like there would have to be because it's all about spectacle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about crowd pleasing and stuff. But do you think there's people? There had to have been people that. I mean, people do that in UFC and stuff and boxing where they'll
but certainly
act a fool or stuff. But yeah, that's crazy. That means that had to be part of, people had to have done that. They fucking did like a backflip suplex to finish off their enemies, and then spun around and threw an invisible Pokeball at the ground to catch him. Like T-posing in the Coliseum. All right.
One of my favorite things is one of the swords ones is where you'll disarm them when they go to swing, and then you'll cut them down and then kick them in the face.
Yeah,
but the weapon that you send flying just lands somewhere like it's a physics object.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite things is that all of the generic soldiers you kill, their helmets fly off. So there's just helmets everywhere.
Helmets and dead dudes.
Yeah. Making me kind of want to play For Honor.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is a game that only a certain kind of person likes. I've tried to play that game with so many different people, and they're like, no. And I'm like, you just don't get it.
But it's just so much fun.
It is. I love For Honor.
Okay. I'm just thinking the Black Prior of like when I get like 4 people flipped, and it's like as long as one of you swings, you're all fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the, oh, look at that guy fighting over there. I better do my instant kill move on him when he's not
Dude,
looking.
whenever I think of For Honor, I just think of like, you know, all I'm hearing in the background is Tenebris or Dun Maglaus, like just
Yeah.
constant lines.
All I can think of is just like I'm sitting there with my shield up, and I just like behind him of the guy who's currently fighting me, I just see Ilya's doing ninja flips ready to instant kill.
I got my 2-sided axe and I'm doing a big flip that he can't see, and he's dead. That made the whole, I might have died 100 times, but that one thing made me enjoy the game.
And now you're executing him and they can't do anything about it because you get a shield.
We can write nasty things in chat. They do that sometimes.
Oh, dude, that's every
But
game.
I've already won.
I've already won. I was playing a different game, just like Marvel. I'm not really playing to win. I'm playing a different game.
I played
I'm
to
playing
ruin someone
make the
else's fun.
Spider-Man.
Ruin that Spider-Man's fun.
Were you guys? Yeah, you guys. Yeah, that Spider-Man was fucking
Ruin that
mad.
Spider-Man's fun. I had, dude. Okay,
You know you win when they call you 13 years
dude,
old.
I
You
had a guy on my team today that was like that.
yeah.
Went from support to getting his ass kicked by the enemy magic player, and he's like, "Ugh," and he switched to magic. He's like, I'm a diff this magic because he had like the Lord icon, and then he got completely annihilated by the enemy magic. And every time it was just him being like, fight me with 2 other people, no honor, blah blah. It's like, dude, I hate you. You're so annoying. You're the reason our team is losing.
That's funny. All right, we're
Yep.
slowly stepping back into Marvel. Any other last pieces of news? Because I got to call it here.
Nah, I'm good.
We've been going for a while.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for filling in as much as we all could without our techie boy here. Thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on the video or podcast or wherever, or send us an email at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com. Find us on Blue Sky. Go back and check. We did a crab bag episode, which is our new kind of side thing where we don't have any homework. We don't have any plans. We just find a topic that we want to talk about. Unfortunately, our boy Jacob fell asleep. He couldn't make it because we had scheduling problems, but that's up. And that's me, Kylar, and Tsun talking about Marvel Rivals pretty much for an hour and having a good time with it. We plan on doing more of those, I hope. With some more topics, maybe Strider's 9x9 idea. We could throw that in there.
9x9.
What you said? 3x3. Sorry.
9x9. Goddamn.
9x9. We're gonna be here for a while.
9x9 favorite games.
Dude, I don't know if I could come up with 81 favorite games.
81 games is fucking insane.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and do that. I'm not.
I'm not.
I will just put the same game 81 times and let you guys talk about the rest.
Dude, let's write Hulk 81 times.
Yeah, Hulk Smash for Game Boy Advance. All right, well, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.